welcome. How was your week? How was your weekend? I know I'm doing a little day late today. We were out of town this weekend, did a tea festival. I was volunteer coordinator for that. That was so much fun. And then we were driving back yesterday. We had acupuncture for Bentley yesterday as well. So that we'll get into the benefits of acupuncture another day. But yes, it really does help. It helps dogs, it helps people, but we'll get into that later. But today we're going to talk about active music therapy. Last week we talked about receptive music therapy as far as listening to music and the benefits that it has. So today is active music therapy. So active music therapy encourages participation in music making activities like singing, playing instruments, or songwriting, where it can foster a sense of accomplishment, and boost self-esteem and encourage self-reflection. So how does it help? The benefits of it. It helps with emotional processing. It helps with stress reduction. It helps with self-reflection and self-awareness. It also increases self-compassion. It helps with enhanced communication, and it boosts your confidence. So a lot of these things are helpful for you to be able to do your job. It also helps prevent burnout. It also helps you work through burnout if you're already at that point. To me, I've said this before, I feel like, all those emotions are inside of you, things that you deal with, the trauma, and everything you deal with, you build that up inside of you. And I always say that if you don't deal with it, or process it, I should say, not necessarily deal with it, if you don't process it, you can look at it as like it's just stacking. Like all these things that you deal with, the emotions, everything, are just stacking up inside of you. And it gets to the point to where, I guess when you say you've had it up to here, you've literally had it up to here. Like at that point, like it's just, you need to be able to process this, work through it for you, most importantly for yourself, so that you're able to live your life without any, because stress is without causing medical complications. Stress is a huge factor in a lot of things, a lot of diseases, a lot of medical things that can happen to you. Heart attacks, diseases, colds, flu, pneumonia, anything like that. Like stress is a major factor in these things that can help cause these, despite being around germs, right? So if your immune system's strong, if you're around somebody that has the flu, most of the time you're not going to get the flu, right? Because your immune system is strong, it's fighting it off. So same thing. So stress weakens your immune system. So you not processing some of the things that you're dealing with and not processing it, it just builds up and it helps weakens that immune system. So that's why you need to find a way to process this with what you're going through. And again, one of the things, active music therapy. There are actual music therapists out there that you can go and see, I'm sure. And what they do is if you go see a music therapist, they'll tailor it to like what you want, what you want to do, your needs, your physical abilities, and what would work best with you and what you're interested in, and then go through it that way. Now, I guess, for example, in your musical abilities. So if you've never played an instrument, they wouldn't start you off playing an organ. They would start you playing off like a keyboard or a piano or something of that nature, and build up to playing an organ if you want to play an organ. So that's always something you can work on, practice and everything with. But other things that you can do to do or check out. One of my favorite things is guitar. It's called Guitaro 5000, Guitaro 5000 with Reggie. The guy, he used to play on a cruise ship, but he's really cool, really good at what he does. Like, if he's never heard of a song, he can listen to like a few measures of it, a few bars of it, and for about a minute or less, actually, and then he can be able to play the whole song. It's really cool. But he does a sing with me for free. They do YouTube, Facebook, and everything, but it's really cool. He lives in New York City. He does do other cities as well, but he sings on the street with a sign, and of course he has, a film crew and everything, and he encourages people to come sing with him. Whether you can carry a tune or not, he doesn't care. You can sing whatever you want, and he plays while you sing. And then afterwards, he asks, now that you sing, how do you feel? Because that's the whole point, is to make someone's day, help them feel better, help them have a better day the rest of the day. Just because it brings up those good endorphins, happy endorphins. And so what happens when we do that? Your immune system starts focusing on what it needs to focus on, because it's not worried about your stress that you've been stressing over for the day, right? So so check him out. That's really cool. Some of the people, it's just amazing just listening to some people sing is really fun. Also, another one I would say to kind of show what music does. I would say, if you do it, listen to, if you don't listen to anything else, definitely look this one up. It's Cody Lee, Cody with a K, Kodilee. He was on American's Got Talent. No, I know I said I watched Grey's Anatomy, but I don't watch American's Got Talent. But I do see, the videos, they'll pop up if some of the ones are like getting a lot of views. It'll pop up like on your Facebook or YouTube or something. So that's how I was introduced to him like years ago. He won Simon's Golden Buzzer, and I think he actually won the American's Got Talent. But he goes around and plays now. But he plays for different concerts and everything, different people, different charities. But he is blind and autistic. He's a blind and autistic musical prodigy. He is a singer, a pianist, and a songwriter, known for his exceptional musical ability and passion for music. He was born with optic nerve hypoplasia, I believe that's how you pronounce it, which rendered him blind and diagnosed with autism. Excuse me. He was diagnosed with autism at a young age. If you were to see him out, you would never guess in a million years that he would have the abilities he had. To listen to him play is like a completely different person. Serious. Like, you would never, to hear him talk about it and then hear him play, you would never guess. Like, it's amazing because that's how he expresses himself. He escapes through the music. And it's just amazing just to watch him, to be able to do that. So I would definitely hit him up as well. So of course he's also, he does his own songwriting as well as he sings other people's songs as well. But yes, his songwriting abilities are amazing. Of course, like people like Taylor Swift, she writes, her life story in her songs. Selena Gomez, and then a lot of your non-mainstream artists as well, like Brandon James. He writes a lot of what's going on in his life, what's going on in the world, and he's really good too. I like his music. Matt White does the same as well. So a lot of your non-mainstream artists, they physically like write their music as well as play it, versus singing other people's songs. Not that there's anything wrong with that, to get a different take on other people's songs, but just saying. So that's, to me, I also feel like when you get into songwriting, even though it's a form of music, like lyrical songwriting, to me, that's kind of the same thing as writing therapy, which we'll get into another day as well. But yes, but songwriting, like, creating the music that goes behind with the lyrics, to me, I think is great. But so how do you do this? Like, you don't have a music instrument, you don't have, there's so many different ways. So you can rent an instrument if you want to, and play. You can take lessons. Of course, YouTube has, lessons as well. A lot of people are now learning a lot of things off of YouTube. You can go play in stores. There's some stores. I was trying to think of the name of the store earlier. It was guitar, something. It's like White Store, has a huge guitar on it. Sometimes you can actually, I think some of them are still open, if I remember correctly. But you can actually rent studio space in those to play if you wanted to do that. I think you can actually go in the store and just play in the store if you want to. Beat on some drums. Also, if you're a gamer, you have a good Guitar Hero you can play. You have karaoke you can do. You can go out and sing karaoke if you want to as well. That's fun. Make sure you have a couple of drinks. At least I would have to have a couple of drinks to do that, but that's just me. But if you don't and you can do it, go for it. But have fun. Be safe. So you can always sing in the car or sing at home when you're by yourself. Think about how many times you've actually driven down the street or driven down the road and you see the car next to you, the person in the car next to you that's literally like rocking out, headbanging this music, or they're banging on their steering wheel, or you can tell they're just singing their heart out to whatever song is on. So yes, you can you can do that. Of course, sing in the shower, sing at home, throw on your headsets, or just play some music out loud and just sing your heart out. Like, it gets everything out, like the emotion you need. If you had a rough day at work or a sad day at work, I mean, throw on a sad song and sing it out. Just get it out of your system. Don't let it sit there and fester in your system, but somehow figure out a way to get it out of your system. Whether that's music therapy, dancing, writing, just, that's what a lot of that was the whole reason I did this, was a lot of these things, like, they're little things that you can do to help prevent your burnout. But also, if you're already at that point that you're burned out, like, it'll help you get through it. You got to get through to the other side. Because one, we don't want you to get to the point that you're no longer in the profession, because you chose this profession for a reason. And especially if it's something that you're good at and you love helping the animals, like, we don't want to lose you. The profession's already short anyways. We don't want to lose any more. We don't want you to also feel the need that you don't belong on this earth anymore. Like, we don't want you to do that either, feel that way either. So that's why we did this. If these are things you're already doing, it's just to give you that confirmation that you're doing the right thing. Like, you're doing, if it helps, keep doing it. All right. There's a lot of different things that you can help. Find different things that interest you. If it's something you haven't tried or you thought about trying, try it. You might like it. If you don't, then don't do it again. As my dad always said, you don't know until you try it, right? How do you know if you like something if you don't try it? It might. I've actually tried something that it wasn't really an interest to me. So when I worked on the cruise ship, we had a really good manager that she always she encouraged us to do, I call them team activities. So one of the things that we did, she bought excursion for us to go kayaking as a team. So our department, and we went kayaking. Let me tell you, I never thought about kayaking, never wanted to kayak, but I did it. I enjoyed it. It was very different. So interesting enough, for the longest time after I'd done it, I would, I was always like, okay, I would never be the person to say, hey, let's go kayaking, but if you were to say, you want to go kayaking, I would say yes. Does that make sense? But now, when I got older, I'm kind of with Sean, I'm we're both hey, let's go do a tandem kayak. Because that's what we did. We did, the first time I went kayaking it was tandem. So we had a partner. And so now I'm with him, we're both well, let's go do this together. So now I want to go do that. So it's really interesting how things like that work out. But my point being is, even if it's something that doesn't sound interesting at that moment, try it. You may like it. It may help. Kind of like sound therapy. When we talked about sound therapy, a lot of people think that, or sound bath and just listening to people, listening to, or going to a sound bath where people are laying there listening to it. It sounds very new agey as what some people were, and a little out there to some people. And that's okay if you think that's out there. But my point being, it's not going to cost you anything to try it. And if you try it, you may like it and it may help. It may surprise you. And if you don't, or if it doesn't help, then, somebody says something, you're like, you know what? I tried it. It didn't work for me. Someone goes do something else. So, something to think about. All right. And with that being said, remember, if you need to speak, if you need to talk to someone, you have Lifeboat with NOMV, Not One More Vet. Remember, that's your peer-to-peer connection. So with someone who, if you do, they try to connect you with someone in the very similar area that you're in. So if you do large breed animal veterinarian, they'll try to partner you with large breed animal veterinarian. So technicians, and that's in a similar thing. So remember, that's within 24 hours. You can have connection with someone if you need to speak with someone. As of right now, you have 988 that you can call or text. I will keep you updated on that. That may no longer be, but right now you have 988. And you can also text home to 741-741. Ain't that right, little one? Bentley's sitting here turning his head as I'm talking. So yes, if you need to speak to someone, make sure you put those in your phone, save them in your phone under something you know what they are if you need them. All right, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need to speak to someone. Please ask. It's not wrong to ask for help. It's not weak. It's actually it gives you strength to ask for help. So there's nothing wrong with that. All right. Do you want to come here and say goodbye? Oh goodness. All right. Say hi. It's how people say and tell them, say you take care of yourself so you can take care of the other animals. Yeah, and be able to take care of the animals. So that's important, right? To take care of all the animals, they need to take care of themselves too, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, do you want to show them and then talk about TFAS? So show them your little cup here. So they give teacups out at the TFAS so you can sample the tea. So I gave my little cup to Bentley so I can give him water when we go places. So we take him everywhere with us. So when we're at the restaurants and stuff, he has his own little cup to drink out of because he's that spoiled. He'd rather drink out of a cup than a bowl. But he'll drink out of a bowl, but still. And he likes ice water better. So for future reference, if any of you ever need to know that. All right, guys. Well, until next week, we will see you later. Take care. And remember, you're not alone.